where my self-esteem drops a little bit is I don't know I think it's pretty common when you go through a failure, you mess something up. So what would you say is a good way to kind of come back and rebound from like a failure or something like that?
So I think it will depend a little bit on what the failure is and at what we perceive it as. So if I didn't get the job that I applied for, failure. If I didn't get into a certain school I wanted to, is that a failure?
Yeah.
You know, and in each of those, right, so in what aspect, what can we do if I'm feeling low? I think that's what you're kind of maybe alluding to with like,
Yeah.
if it takes a hit to my self-esteem, what do we do? So to
And I
me,
think it comes back to like what we think we're good at.
yeah,
If we fail at something we think we're good at, then it's like, what am I good at now?
sure.
You know?
So let me say this. So when I applied for graduate school to go be a therapist, I didn't get into like my dream school at the time, and I was crushed, right? Like, cause I had pretty good self-esteem too. I was like, I feel like I'm smart. I feel like I have a lot of good things going for me, and then I didn't get in, and this internal narrative was like, well, maybe you're not good enough, and maybe you're not smart enough. So that went from self-esteem was here to here.
So it drops down a little bit.
Yes. So I needed some kind of affirmation or validation that like I am so good, I am so smart, I am so these things before I got kind of pushed down a little bit. And those were conversations with friends. That was seeing a therapist at the time to help me build some skills. And then it was also having some wins where at one point after that I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna apply for any more graduate schools. I don't, maybe I just can't, it's not meant for me. And it's like, that's so contrary to how my confidence was before. I'm gonna get into all of them. But then I started applying for other ones, and I started getting in and getting in and getting in. And then it was like, what? So my self-esteem, I wasn't good enough for this school, but obviously all these other schools want me, so is it me or was it the school? It was probably the school. Or a little bit of me too, right? So some accountability. So I needed some wins after that happened, and I needed some processing to learn some skills or techniques on how do I not internalize it all negative.